What's up, folks? How's your wallet looking? Mine's empty again. Hey, I'm Pocan Joe, and as always, you're pretty cool for coming by. I do appreciate it, you wonderful weirdos out there. Hey guys, we got a huge haul this week. Oh my god, so many books. My wallet is looking empty. How's yours looking? Let's find out. Let's dive into this. And as always, if you would like a review on these comic books, you can check that out at Blaster or Stash at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube. Come check out the rest of the crew where we pontificate in a barroom manner upon the literature that we have engrossed ourselves in. It's a real fancy way of saying a bunch of nerds reading comic books, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so the first comic book I want to talk about, I don't even know if you want to call it a comic book, is Batwang. Yeah, somebody actually did it. Apparently somebody else was kind of weirded out by the whole Batman Damned issue 1 with Bruce Wayne's Wang in it. So they actually did an entire comic book about it. It's actually just a few pages long, and it's weird. It's definitely weird. The art's weird in it. There's no real story structure to it. It is nothing more than a satire. And yeah, it's funny. I don't know if you can get it out where you're at. I actually picked it up at Local Heroes here in Norfolk, Virginia. I also went to Zeno's Books in Chesapeake, Virginia, and I ordered some things online. So without further ado, let's get into the real comic books. The very first one we have, these first lot right here are ones that I've already read through. So we got Justice League Dark, we got issue number 8. Man, we're doubling down on this Otherworld people, and man, are they doing a good job with it. A lot of just very exciting book. I've really been engrossed into this storyline. Man, have I enjoyed that. Next, exciting comics. Somebody decided to bring back some good, just old school fun with a little bit of a new flair and twist to it. We got an origin story. Well, most of these are going to be origin story, but we have a natural, organic origin story in here of a character called the Scorpion. We got some female heroines out there. Just great stuff out there. You can tell they kind of did a little bit of a swipe there on Project Superpowers covers there with the lady in the trench coat, but still just that kind of golden age goodness of dealing with mobsters and terrorists and things like that. Doesn't get really deep. It's very shallow reading, but it's very easy reading at that, and the artwork is just beautiful in it. I think this is one of the few occasions where you can say that the cover artwork is very similar to the interior artwork as well. Just classic superhero heroine type storytelling in this. Great stuff. Next, I got this House of Whispers. I got this as a cover swipe because I recognized what they were going with there. This is a cover swipe as well as a famous painting. This is kind of a weird story. I'm not very familiar with the Sandman universe. I'm kind of regretting getting it because I just found myself lost. This is obviously geared to a Sandman universe fan, and unfortunately I'm not that guy. Did I find anything wrong with the story? Not really. I just don't understand the universe to really get into it, so buyer beware on that one. I know this is last week's comic book, but I went ahead and picked it up because people are like, Joe, you gotta read this and do a review on this. And that's Blossom 666. Archie comics have been trying to get a little darker, a little deeper, a little bit more worth to them. And this went dark. Like, this is straight up witchcraftery, devil worshipping, just not what you would expect from an Archie book. But they were still able to keep the nuances of the characters in there, so you know you're reading an Archie story, and I found that to be very important in this reading. So that was pretty cool. Next, I picked up Spawn Kills Everyone Part 2, or Part 3, and then of course I had to get Part 2 as well for it to make sense. Just stupid fun. Just stupid fun. That's all you can really say about that. Just an easy read, comical at best. And I'm not going to say it was a bad story, because it wasn't. It was a good break in between a lot of the more heavier content that I've been reading back after back after back. Next, Aliens 3, the lost script, or what the script was supposed to be. This is kind of kind of hit a wall for me. I'm kind of just bored with it at this point, and I really don't want to get that much into it. Next, we got Amazing Spider-Man number 15. Man, I've been waiting to see this mysterious character kind of pop his head back up in this, and it's the only reason why I've been staying on board. But luckily, they've drawn me in with bringing Craven back and working with Arcade, and they kind of got a plot where they're going to basically build a hunting reserve right there in New York, and they're capturing all the game for the hunt. And so now we got Scorpion, Rhino, some Snake guy, right? They're going to be captured, and Spider-Man, and we got something interesting backstory there. The main story here seemed to focus on a past problem. Ned is back. We're dealing with a young boy who just wants to be normal, but he's a lizard kid, and his parents are trying to protect him, and he just wants to go do normal boy stuff, like go to parties and stuff like that. So we're kind of dealing with that social front, but then we also got just great story in the background. Honestly, I'm just reading it for the background story and to see if this mysterious character kind of pops back up at some point. Other than that, I'm not really getting much out of the current storyline or the arc that they're on right now. Let's see here. Next, Savage Sword of Conan. Of course, I picked that up. Of course, you picked it up. Of course, we're picking it up and we're reading this. And what are we being told in this? We have a classic Conan story with the archetype of the wandering, traveling hero who is savage. Hence the Savage Sword. Get a great story in this. About, I don't know, freeing slaves? I guess is the best way to describe that, or a man's unwillingness to be a slave, and the lengths he's willing to go to combat that. It was kind of interesting, and then we kind of get this third eye, that next leap into the next adventure type story. Okay, I'm buying it for right now. We'll see where this goes. The moment I am bored with this, I'm probably going to end up dropping it. But for right now, not a bad story. Next gen. Again, we're still dealing with X-Man's made-up utopia that he has created, and we're finding out that it's not so utopia-phoic. Yeah, a lot of people are being suppressed in this. And then we find out that the next generation of X-Men are now involved in this, as one of their friends could possibly be somebody who's breaking the rules and laws of this utopia. And this is just a great example of early writings where, you know, the threat of a utopia breeds tyranny. And we're kind of starting to see that kind of formulate and how that develops. It's a slow burn. To be honest, it is a slow burn. But we're going to get through it together, I'm sure. We'll definitely keep picking them up because I kind of want to see what Apocalypse looks like when he's promoting love and what that looks like. I'm kind of interested in that. Let's see where this goes. Let's jump on board this train. Let's ride it together. Next book that I read, and I was somewhat depressed with this. I'll just go ahead and be honest and give a short review of my thoughts of it. And that was Wonder Twins. Hashtag Thunderlust is what I've been putting in all the chat rooms. It was probably the funniest thing in this. We get a couple of displaced teenagers that are going to a modern type high school. Artwork's pretty cool in it. I enjoyed the artwork, and I'm just having a problem with the storytelling in it. A classic character from early Silver Age, maybe late Golden Age, is kind of sort of brought back up in here, and that's Meatplex. And the goal with Meatplex is to get him to say his name, I am Meatplex. That's why he generally introduces himself with it spelled backwards. And the rule for Meatplex was that was the goal, to trick him into saying his name the correct way. And throughout various comic book adaptations of him, they've always found some way to trick him because he's a trickster and he needs to be tricked. In this, apparently, they kind of, at the end, yeah, I'll spoil it for you. They got the computer to say it. And apparently that worked. I don't I don't know why that is. It kind of just takes away from the whole story and the meaning of it. It stole that. And there was no development of the villain in it, what he was doing, what he wanted to do, or anything in any way whatsoever. Another good thing is youth perception of what it means to be cool and do things. Apparently, Zan thinks or has a perception that if he becomes the ice rink for the hockey players instead of joining the team, or he joins the team and finds out that he's just there to be the ice rink, that this is going to make him popular, and he's going to get the cool name H2O. That's going to be his cool guy nickname kind of thing, right? And then it turns out that he gets the name Thunderlust, which is something that happens to him and his people whenever a lightning storm happens. And apparently they get very horny and ravenous with passion. This happens to him in the story. He basically falls to his knees. His eyes glow up a little bit. We don't actually get that. And ultimately, it becomes kind of sort of a tongue-in-cheek joke in the storyline. Even to the point where Batman says, hey, he's become a man today. Apparently, somebody... I don't know what the reference was at to the story. The only thing that was kind of sort of references this is that they're there because they have been an outcast of some way from their world. And this was literally explained in such a nuanced way that it just didn't give you anything to grip onto. The one time that they did their, Wonder Twins power activate, little fist bump thing, they even pointed out that was kind of a joke. Okay, I get it. Self-deprecating humor from the past. It often works. But the one time that they did it was literally for a race. She turns into a bird. He goes to the sewers, and he gets lost. And that was it. I guess there was a joke in there of some way. I'm not really sure. Maybe I'm just not getting it. Definitely comment down below if I'm missing something. But I did not see this story as telling me anything other than the fact that they exist, which is often what we're getting from this Wonder Comics kind of thing right here. Naomi did the same thing. Didn't really tell us anything. Kind of left it on a cliffhanger. We'll see where that one goes, but I have no reason to buy this next issue. Nothing was really explained to me. The importance of them being there, like I said, the very minor nuance thing that they brought up, maybe. But yeah, that's it. So that's my rant for Wonder Twins. I'm sorry. Let's continue on with the haul. Did not mean to rant that long for it, but I'm honestly trying to find some meaning in it, and it's just not there. And there was nothing entertaining about it. I'm sorry. Comic books I did not read this week, but I'm very much looking forward to. Gunning for Hits. I'm really enjoying this storyline. This is great. Kind of pokes at the reality of the music industry a little bit. And what do you do when you actually have kind of sort of a hitman type character involved in that? Really been enjoying that. Can't wait to get into that next issue. Captain Marvel #2. Why not? The movie's coming out, right? So let's see what they're going to do. We get a female fighting team, or an introduction to a new female fighting team in this issue. That's great. Let's let the heroines rock it out and see what happens in that. I'm kind of sort of excited about it, but I'm not keeping very high hopes on it, mostly because I'm just coming off of the Life of Captain Marvel, and that was just kind of just dragging on, really. That could have been a 2-issue run. So hopefully they've done something cool with this and built that story up some. Next, Flash #46. I just wanted to know more about this cover, to be honest. Would you tell me the story behind this cover? And we can kind of get into it a little bit. A lot of people have already kind of blasted this kind of already as not a very good story, but maybe we can find something in it. Let's see. Avengers, No Road Home. I had to go with this cover right here. I really like the plot point and the summary that I saw on this, so I'm really going to find myself engaged in that and definitely figure out how they're going to handle this archetype of inclusive, well, no, maybe not inclusiveness, but this kind of together archetype of all these people fighting together. And of course, we get Hercules coming back on the scene. Let's see here. Red Hood, Outlaw, #31. Now, you'll probably notice from my past shows, Joe, you've never picked up a Red Hood book. Why is this a thing? Well, I mean, seriously, look at this cover. Yeah, I'm that guy. I'm okay with that. I'm probably going to end up picking up in the middle of a story and be somewhat lost, but that's okay. We'll work through it and see if it's something that I need to catch up on or not. Hopefully it is, because I wouldn't mind picking it up. I like the idea of him or of Red Hood, but they've just always kind of come up short with the storytelling for me. Next, finally, Magic Order came out. Now, that's just how you do a Magical Order cover right there. That is great playmanship on coloring, and it is just a subtle nuance to the moon. And also, I don't know if you noticed, but in the moon, let's see if we can get it up there. We got a skull in there. I mean, that's just the subtle details like that. That just shows that somebody out there wants people to notice their work. We were left on a huge twist in this story, where somebody we thought was a good guy and wanted to kind of be out of the entire thing. Come to find out, nope, he's the big bad in it. And how does that affect a family dynamic? We're going to find out in this issue right here. Winter Soldier, we finally get the origin story, or I guess a better origin story, or more detailed origin story of RJ down here at the bottom, who's kind of looking like Robin flying through the air. Okay, I'll work with it. Been enjoying this, and I guess this kind of, not to get weird, but it does kind of talk to the aspect of nature and nurture. He's a bad guy. He's been a bad guy, and Winter Soldier's going to take him under his wing and kind of show him a different way to best use what he's learned. Okay, that's cool. Father figure type story, little nature nurture in there. All right, now let's do it in a really cool comic book way so it grabs my attention and does not read like a soap opera. Please don't read like a soap opera. Been also enjoying this, Dead Man Logan. This is going to be epically awesome, this issue right here. And we know that because the last issue was kind of a... And the X-Men had to come in and be the moral authority against the Avengers and kind of take Logan away. Artwork's been astounding in this. Great storytelling, great archetypes of Wolverine being the old person who's just trying to fix the future. It's a great archetype. Been enjoying that, so hopefully they keep on with that. Next, again, another cover swipe, but not for the reason why. We got another Liefeld disaster. Boom. Yes, now you're probably looking at this on screen, you're like, Joey, what's wrong with it? And then you kind of get focused into it a little bit, and you look at this, what is going on with his face? What is that all about? That doesn't even look like if you cover this up, does that even look like Superman to you, or does that look like a villain from another story? I don't know what's going on with his beak-like nose either. And why is his shoulder so slumped for? I don't know, Liefeld, man, what's going on, bro? I mean, it's your art type, and art is to be criticized, and I am criticizing it. Now, what about the story, Joey? You're always talking about stories and using big words when it comes to story. I'm kind of excited about this issue because I think we're going to find out more about the grandfather's role in raising Superboy and what happened in that whole scenario where Lois Lane had to go away, and how did that transcribe? And we're going to get some more of that in here, so I'm kind of excited about that. The reintroduction to Superboy. Hopefully they make him a little cooler without the leather jacket and the weird round glasses from the 90s that everybody was wearing for some ungodly reason. We made bad decisions in the 90s. We really did. I remember having a silk shirt. Yeah. So hopefully we can give him a reboot and kind of make him somewhat relative to today, but still engage us. Next, Detective Comics. We're on the road to 1,000. Hopefully we get some things kind of cleaned up in Detective Comics and we kind of get on point with our story. Artwork in this is very busy, but very cool. Looks like we get some Bad Armor stuff going on in here. Really looking forward to that. And of course, they're doing great covers for this as well. And on the road to 1,000, they're already doing pre-orders for God knows how many covers. It's just been ridiculous. So, as a concerned shopper who wants to tell people to be concerned with their money as well, be very selective in your covers when you buy them. I know everybody wants to jump out there right now. I know Comic Mint's doing a thing for like $88 where you get like 11 of them. They're going for about $10 a pop for most of them, some a little higher. You don't need a ton of the same comic book, but I understand buying more than one variant, especially for some of you flippers out there. But to flip a $10 comic book that's being mass produced, it's not going to really draw in much money. Right? So just be selective in that. Be smart. You're smarter than me when it comes to comic books. I know you are. Don't buy into hype. Get the ones that either draw you to them or the ones that you know can flip later, and you can always check that out by the print run. Be smart. All right, next. Picked up this cover of Avengers. That was just a straight up. I just like this cover. This will fit nicely in my selection, and I'm probably also going to C2E2 to get this signed as well. There's a great placement for a signature right up in here, so I think that would look really cool with some silver or something like that. So that's why I'm going to be getting that. And last but not least, of course, not last, but I mean, come on, are you freaking kidding me? That cover is just epic. We got the Batman Who Laughs. We got number 3, and we're actually going to see a fight, or we were promised, I should say, a fight between Grim, Batman, and Batman. So how is that going to play out when one uses boomerangs and the other one uses guns? And it looks like we're going to get an appearance from... Yeah, we're going to go ahead and we are going to see the Joker in this issue as well. So that's going to be it's not even that's just going to be awesome. So back issue stuff. What did we find? Well, we found something kind of interesting. I picked up an auction, an estate auction not too long ago, and I was able to get a lot of stuff from it. But some of the more curious things that I got was, of course, this is 2080 featuring Judge Dredd. There's 3 copies of this newspaper in here. If you're not familiar with this, these were produced in England. Yes, England. By the price point up there, you see this was not published here in the United States. Looks like there's 3 issues of this magazine this paper in here. And this was a production that was done weekly that you could subscribe to way back in the day. Why did I get it? I just thought it was cool, honestly. I don't think there's any real value behind them. But I'll do my research and we'll find out. Next, got myself some Golden Age goodness here. I got The Masked Raider. And this is issue number... Did they even issue these numbers? I'm not even sure. Well, this is the August edition. We'll put it that way. Very old school comic book. If you don't know most about this, this was a kind of a unique take, I guess, on more of a Lone Ranger type character. I definitely don't want to... Well, let's take it out of the bag and show you. I think that's going to be the best way to describe this as carefully as we can, because this is an old comic book, and it is a Western. And basically, you got the heroes wear white, the bad guys wear black. The Masked Raider is obviously the good guy in this, and he kind of has this Lone Ranger type persona to him. Some would even say it was somewhat of a knockoff. And that's fine. I mean, back then, copyright laws were not as indigenously strict as they are today, by no means whatsoever. Picked myself up some back issues from Comic Mint. Don't worry, we're not going through all of these, but this is the deal that Comic Mint is currently doing. I went ahead and did it. For back issues, they're doing a deal right now. 30 comic books for $30, plus shipping and handling. So I went ahead and did it. So what kind of stuff did I find? Well, the first thing they're doing is if you make one of the orders, you'll get this 1 in 25 Guardians of the Galaxy beautiful cover. Like I said, I've done it for DC and Marvel, and there's some good stuff in it. Like in the, the DC one, there was about 4 1 in 25 variant covers that were in there, and the rest of it was just backlog stuff. Nothing really hugely great in it. And then I went ahead and got this Marvel one as well, and they, from what I can tell already, they've kind of done some variant covers for that as well. Got a Miles Morales number 1. A lot of this is X or A versus X with some of the unique covers in it. So really it's just a bunch of backlog type stuff. And then you just got just outright junk in here too. So a little bit of everything in there. We'll go through it. If I came up with anything cool, we'll let you know by Sunday night at Blaster's Stash at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we'll also do a review of comic books. Now, we got some exciting things coming up. Man, we are getting closer and closer to C2 and E2, and the buzz has been happening, and who's going to be there for signings has been all over the internet. Scotty Young's going to be there. Cooter's going to be there. Just tons of artists. So lots of signings going to be happening there. I got my press passes, so we'll be going around. Hopefully we can get a couple of interviews done. I don't know. We'll see what we can do. Maybe learn about some of these other YouTubers out there. That would be kind of cool, too. Other news, probably going to be launching an auction again soon. If that's something that you're interested in. Our online auction that me and Spectacular Spider Grandpa host. We may be doing another one here soon, really just to get a lot of our back stock out there and into your hands at a price that you want to pay. That's pretty much why. Some other good news and good stuff going on out there. Hey, congratulations to Comic Girl Ava. She's been putting out some great content lately. You can catch her here on YouTube as well. Also, Discovery Bay Comics, who's really found a true niche in this YouTube comic book community where he talks about the different shows and YouTube channels that are coming on. Good job, guy. I know sometimes it can be hard to keep track of everybody's stuff. And thank you for the guidance that you provide in that as well. Comics with Bueller just dropped some great videos out there. He's back doing his comics, comments, and coffee routine. That's been great. And Midwest Comic Guy, he's been doing some great stuff on Golden Age and the writers and the artists and different creators from the Golden Age. He's a fellow Golden Age fan, as am I. So yeah, definitely tons of people out there. Also, anybody on the Comic Core, the Seawater's been putting out some good stuff. Man, just so much good stuff out there. I think Catran just did a video. I think I caught it today. I did catch it today. That's for sure. Where she did a review of the Wonder Twins. So if you want to hear somebody else's opinion on the Wonder Twins, definitely go over there and check it out. And, read the book yourself. Definitely. No doubt about that. And she brought up some good points in the book as well. Kudos to you. Man, just so many YouTubers out there. I'm sorry if I can't remember all of you. I apologize. But if you're a YouTuber and you want a shout out on this show, or you want me to watch your show and maybe even talk about it on my show, definitely leave a comment down below, message me on Instagram, whatever the case may be. Hey guys, this has been great. Thank you for stopping by. Sorry this video went a little longer than normal, but lots of stuff going on. So leave a like, leave a dislike. I know I do not produce my show on a regular time basis, but I tell you what, hitting that bell will definitely assist you in finding when my shows do come on. Other than that, guys, have a great day. If nobody's complimented you today, hey, you're doing a good job. Keep it up. Keep collecting. Collect what you like. And all those other catchphrases that we love to say so much. And be an archetype. All right, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.